Chief Justice, and then with regards to your question, or the court's question as to why he hadn't taken the time or updated his email addresses to which correspondence would have been sent and the notice of sit down would have been sent, his version, or what he's advised, is that typically in this matter, all correspondence had been sent to his Pinetown offices physically by the applicant. And so he had expected it to come via that method, and he wasn't too focused on his email addresses because he trusted that the document would come to him via the channel that he was used to it coming to him at, which was physically to his Pinetown office. Chief Justice, and then with regards to your, I explained that it was definitely not cast in stone. The 29th of September proposal for the hearing date. He's willing to commit that he will have counsel properly briefed and ready to proceed on the 29th of September should that date be granted. And also that he will have written submissions, his heads of argument filed well before then, at a date that this Honourable Court decides, or if I could propose a date, Chief Justice, by next week, Tuesday, the 22nd of September, for the written submissions, or the heads of argument, the first respondents' heads of argument.
Colleagues, just to advise, I think the Chief Justice is reconnecting via his phone. Perhaps until he rejoins us, Justice Kampepe can preside.
Kampepe is muted.
Justice Kampepe.
Thank you, Ms. Patat. Mr. Patlender.
Thank you, Justice Kampepe. We're, as the members of the court will appreciate, anxious that this matter should proceed. If the matter is postponed till the 29th of this month, then we would ask that the court also direct Mr. Dlamini to show cause why he shouldn't be ordered to pay the wasted costs of the postponement. If the heads of argument are filed at the beginning of next week, we would, and the answering affidavit, I don't know whether it's a new answering affidavit or a further affidavit, but we would reply by the end of the week.
Yes.
Justice Kampepe, my instruction from Mr. Ben Dlamini, the attorney, is that costs should be reserved. He has, as he stated, he expected the notice sit down to reach him timelessly via physical delivery to his Pinetown offices, which is how he'd received correspondence before. So his request is that, or rather my instruction is to seek that the costs are reserved in.
Yes. In the event, Ms. Patat, that the matter is postponed, is your client able to file by Monday?
Definitely. I would rather recommend just to slightly cautiously for the 22nd, that is next week Tuesday.
Chief Justice, we welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, colleagues, proceed, Justice Kampepe, with your questions.
Thank you, Ms. Patat. Why is he not able to file on Monday?
Justice, I'm merely being slightly conservative. Monday may well be completely acceptable. I just, today's Thursday, so I think I'm merely being conservative. Tuesday just seems more,
Yes,
it just seems adequate to my mind in order to file the heads of argument, Chief Justice. The
thank you.
22nd.
You may proceed, Chief Justice.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. Colleagues. Very well, Mr. Bartlander. Have you made all the submissions you needed to make in this regard, or would you like to make further submissions?
Chief Justice, only one matter, which is in the light of the background, can I request or respectfully suggest that the court should direct how and where communications are to be delivered and received, because we don't want to be back in the same place later.
In fact, that's a question we were going to, that's the question we are going to put to Ms. Badat. Ms. Badat, what is the reliable email address that would not have us back where we are right now? Can you give it to us?
I have it, Chief Justice. If I may, I've got two email addresses the first one is Dlamini B, so it's DLA.
No, wait a minute. Which one are you giving us now? Which one must we rely on?
Chief Justice, sorry, I'll just give you one that I know.
Which one does it really?
For the, sorry, Chief Justice, my apologies, sir. It is
Which one is the real one? The one that he really relies on now?
I'm going to give it to you now. It's the main one that he uses, that he's corresponding with me on as well, or in as well. It's DLAMIN.
DL?
DLAMINI, Dlamini.
EL? Or you are spelling the meaning? Are you spelling the meaning now?
I am indeed, Chief Justice.
Oh, I see. Dlamini, yes, Dlamini.
Dlamini, BEN.
Is there small letters BEN or what?
It's all small letters, Chief Justice. It's all small letters. Dlamini Ben 60.
60.
60, Chief Justice, at gmail.com.
Chief Justice?
Yes, my sister.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Advocate Badat, do you know how to use the chat function?
Yes, I'll add it to the chat now, Justice Theron.
And then we can make sure that we have the proper email address. Chief Justice, while Ms. Badat is doing that, I'm not sure you were connected at the stage when Mr. Badlander requested that Mr. Dlamini be directed to pay the costs of today's postponement. That is something that we noted here. Yeah.
Yes, I heard that part.
Be directed, be directed to show cause why he shouldn't be ordered to pay the costs.
Yes. Yes.
Chief Justice, just to reiterate what my submission was to that, my instruction was that Mr. Dlamini is not tendering wasted costs, or the respondent's not tendering wasted costs. His version is that he'd expected that the correspondence would come through to the his Pinetown offices physically, as previous correspondents had regularly reached him out at that address.
Yes. Well, I suppose that's part of the information that he would furnish to demonstrate why he is not to be ordered to pay costs of today, isn't it? That would be part of the costs that he will show. Yes. Okay. Yes. Colleagues, are there questions, further questions for counsel, for Ms. Badat, or can I assume that you don't have any more questions to put to them?
Chief Justice, if I may, can I just inquire from Ms. Badat whether she's canvassed the date of the 29th of September for an online hearing with Mr. Dlamini, whether that date is in order?
I have indeed, Justice Majid. He is amenable to the date. He has committed that he will have brief counsel adequately, would have had enough time, and that the 29th is definitely acceptable to him. He's also committed that he will have written submissions done as the court directs. And obviously we've recommended the date of the 22nd of September for the heads of arguments to be filed, Justice Majid.
Thank you.
Very well. We will make the following order. 1, matter is postponed for hearing to the 29th of September 2020. 2, the first respondent must file the answering affidavit and written submissions on or before Tuesday, the 22nd of September 2020. 3, the applicants are to file their response, if any, on or before Sunday, the 27th of September 2020. And 4, costs are reserved, and Mr. Dlamini is I can't make out my handwriting now, is to show cause why he shouldn't be ordered to pay costs of today.
As the court pleases.
As the court pleases.
Thank you. The court adjourns.
Today's proceedings have concluded.